I can't keep up today.
We'll all make it there.
Yeah. Are we going back around or?
I think we're going across the street.
Oh, okay. Okay. This isn't telling me if anybody is watching. Let's see if I can see a chat. There we go. Okay, so this is very, very impromptu. I'm actually looking for my friend. I am near downtown Riverside, California, and this is a trans march that started about 5:30 Pacific. And I am here as an ally to support the community, even though I made a sign and left the sign at home. Hi, Eric. Thanks for coming in. It's good to see you. Look, I got out of my house. You can't erase us. You can't erase us. You can't erase us. You can't erase us. We're here. We're queer. Your hatred is not welcome here. What are you up to today, Eric? We're queer. Your hatred is not welcome here. We're here. We're queer. Your hatred is not welcome here. We're here. We're queer. Your hatred is not welcome here. You can't erase us. 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 I know. Great job, everybody. Woo! Make some noise, everybody. Make some noise. Woo! Trans rights are human rights. Trans rights are human rights. Trans rights are human rights. Our group got split up a little bit here. These are human rights. And we're not leaving any man behind. Any person. Nope. Why didn't she come with us? Trans rights are human rights.
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 Trans rights is human rights. Trans rights are human rights. Trans rights are human rights.
Trans rights are human rights.
You can't erase us.
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 Trans rights are human rights.
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 Oh, there's a few more.
Hey, hey, ho, ho, transphobia's got to go.
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 I guess he's not. Transphobia's got to go.
Hey, hey, ho, ho. I don't know what's happening now.
Hey, hey, ho, ho, transphobia's got to go.
Hey, hey, ho, ho, transphobia's got to go. 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 See, those are good honks.
Yes.
Some of the other ones were like,
That's
they're not nice honks.
yeah, no, that was with intention and
Yeah,
love.
and I did the thing. I said, fuck you too.
Yes, Lynn, thank you. Lynn, where are you watching from?
I saw the last night, but I'm like, not even one person.
Let's see. I'm going to keep on moving, see if I can find where the biggest part of the group went. So we split because I thought we were waiting for the man with the flag to cross, but I guess he was waiting for other people that were behind him to cross. So everybody came this way. Welcome. Thank you. Oh, okay.
LGBTQ Center.
I have never been here. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Can you take a sign?
Yes, please.
Can I get one of these? Awesome. Thank you. One of these. Mace. The one that I made was a trans flag, and it had. Oh, I think I see Ashley. Um, it had ally in the white stripe in the middle. So this is a beautiful spot. I have never been here. I hope it's okay that I am live. I have to ask. Let me see. I'm on my phone, so everything is tiny. So I'm trying to see what's in the chat. If you ever need me to mod, thank you. I think that's you, Eric. I can't. It's not letting me scroll so I can see your whole here. I'll put the comment up so I can read it. Yeah, so I'm gonna go into the live stream. Thank you very much, Eric. I appreciate you for that. And I will. I think I'm okay right now because it seems like it's just you and me and Lynn, if she's still here. There she is. I'm live on YouTube. Hi. Hi. You want to say hi? Yeah. Everybody, this is my friend Ashley. Hi. Oh, sorry, I had a voice. And whistle. Oh, sure. Didn't get loud. Do you want? We're standing over there, but we can come over here. Oh, I could go for Paris Pride Alliance. Yeah, I can go with you guys. Okay. Let's see. I was gonna pass some whistles out, so we'll just scoot back up and we'll walk up together. Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, sure.
This is lovely. I like this. It's nice. Project Legacy. I know. Yeah. I didn't even know this was tucked back here. Yeah, they have to come up.
All right, everyone. Our lab folks are coming in. Welcome. Let's give them a huge round of applause as they enter.
Woo! That's my voice cracks.
Sit up.
Get out my new whistle.
All right. All right. Thank you,
Trying to find
everyone,
a
for joining
vantage
us
point
today on this Trans Day Visibility. For those that don't know, my name is Brock Cabot, and I'm the Vice President and Advocacy Director for Riverside LGBTQ+ Pride. and I'm so excited to have you all here. My pronouns are he, him, his. We do have a speaker I want to jump right into because she has to head off, but we are so excited to have Councilmember Clarissa Cervantes here, a very fierce person on our city council that is consistently fighting for LGBT rights, for trans rights. She is our only out member of our current city council and are so honored to have her here to kick us off for the evening. So Clarissa, come on up.
Hello, everyone. Happy Trans Visibility Day. I also want to take a moment. Let's take this off right. I know some of you have signs, but if your hands are free, today is also Cesar Chavez Day. So I'm going to go ahead and take us off with the union clap with all of our brothers and sisters.
By the way.
Ready?
Good to see you.
¿Sí se puede? ¿Sí se puede?
Sí se puede.
That's right. Thank you so much. Well, I'm Clarissa Cervantes. I'm proud to be here with you all today, and I'm so sorry. I have a 6:30 Zoom, so I'm going to be running in and running out. But Brock called me and asked if I could say a few words, and anytime I can say a few words to make sure our trans community, our brothers, sisters, and allies know that I'm here to support you, I'm going to make sure I take that opportunity. So, yes, I just want to take a quick moment, and I want to highlight a couple things. First off, I want to thank you all for showing up because we are in a moment of time right now. Today is such a powerful day, and I love that today is actually a shared day to celebrate two iconic pieces of moment in time. One is Cesar Chavez's birthday, someone who stood up and fought for justice, someone who put their body on the front lines to fight for people on marginalized communities time and time again, who gave his life to that. And then for today to also be Trans Visibility Day is so beautiful because we know it's the same of many other folks, whether it was Marsha P. Johnson, Sylvia Jackson, or countless other trans queer individuals who showed up and put their lives literally on the line so that many of us could be here today, so that I could be an out member of our queer community and I could be a voice for our community on the Riverside City Council. I use my privilege because it is a privilege to have this space and this opportunity. And I use that privilege and that power to elevate your reasons, your causes, your fight, your purpose for waking up every day. Because I want everyone to know when they wake up in the city of Riverside and anywhere in California, in the world, I want them to know there's someone who loves them. There's someone who cares, and there's someone who's always going to fight for them to have a place to belong in our community. And that's why I personally feel betrayed, and I will not stand and allow for people like Gavin Newsom to give a platform to hate.
This is like my
Bigotry
from City
and for
Hall
people who
here
want
to
to
the,
erase our existence. And we
LGBTQ
cannot allow
sector
for us to entertain those kind of conversations, because that is us taking steps backwards. That is us allowing and inviting hate into the narrative. And that is the last thing that we need to continue to perpetuate in our society today. So I want to thank many of you for speaking up, for protecting your neighbors, for protecting the ones that you love. And I want to remind you all how powerful it is to act and live in joy, and to not allow yourselves to be pushed down, to feel and to live in the space of disparity, and to feel that there's no hope. So right now here together, let's go ahead and say a few mantras to kick off our Monday and our week. So let's go ahead and start with, I'm going to say the mantra, and then I'm going to point it to you back, and we'll say it together. I am love.
I am love.
I am joy.
I am joy.
I am hope.
I am hope.
I am the resistance.
I am the resistance.
I am the revolution.
I am the revolution.
We are the revolution.
We are the revolution.
¿Sí se puede?
Sí se puede.
¿Sí se puede?
Sí se puede.
Sí se puede.
Sí se puede.
Thank you. Thank you to every single one of you. I want to remind you all to keep showing up and connecting with the people, spaces, and places who see you, who love you, who protect you. Can we give a big hurrah for Riverside Pride? A big hurrah for True Revolution. Thank you all for being here today. You will continue to see me on the front lines because I am going to make sure I fight to the end for every single one of you. And I know what side of the line you stand. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for fighting. I love you.
All right, give it up one more time for Councilmember Cervantes. All right, so
Marianne, I sent
first
a
of all, I just want
notification
to
that you
welcome
were
you all to this
spreading the word.
wonderful,
Thank you.
gorgeous
I
space, the
appreciate
IE
it.
LGBT Center. Who has never been in this space before? Raise your hand. So large majority of you. So how many of you didn't even know this space existed for you here? Wonderful. So next up, to share a bit more about the space and give you a welcome, we have the inaugural program director of the IE LGBT Center, Tory Thibedeau.
Hello, 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 everyone.
Hey. Hi, Cricket.
Just so y'all
Thanks
know,
for coming.
I know y'all walked a little bit of a distance. There's
So I'm
some
in
bottled
downtown
water
Riverside,
back there
my
for y'all. That's ice.
city
And
of
then for
residence,
those of you who don't
and
like
I'm
ice, there's
here
some
with the
room but before we welcome
my
everyone
brain just
fully
went.
into this space, it's important
It's
that we
the
take a moment to
transgender
ground ourselves
day
in
of
gratitude
disability.
and
Thank
truth.
you. And
We are gathered today on land with a deep
so
and
we
complex
just marched
history.
from City Hall over
At
to the
this time,
center.
will be offering a land and labor acknowledgement an intentional act of
Here we're going to have
remembrance
some
and
speakers.
respect as we begin today's program. The land acknowledgement. We at True Evolution would like to respectfully acknowledge and recognize our responsibility to the original and current caretakers of this land, water, and air. The Cahuilla, Tongva, Luiseño, and Serrano peoples, and all of their ancestors and descendants, past, present, and future. Today, this meeting place is home to many Indigenous peoples from all over the world, and we are grateful to have the opportunity to live and work on these homelands. And the labor acknowledgement. We must acknowledge that much of what we know of this country today, including its culture, economic growth, and development throughout history and across time, has been made possible by the labor of enslaved Africans and their descendants, who suffered the horror of the transatlantic trafficking of their people, chattel slavery, Jim Crow, and mass incarceration. We are indebted to their labor and their sacrifice, and we must acknowledge the tremors of that violence throughout the generations and the resulting impact that can still be felt and witnessed today. Yeah, I'm a little nervous.
You're great.
Let me be clear. I have epilepsy. People don't like to talk about hidden disabilities, but I had a seizure this morning, but I'm still coherent and I'm here for everyone. And there we go. So I just want to say welcome to the Inland Empire LGBTQ plus Center powered by True Evolution. We're so glad y'all are here. Each year on March 31st, the world observes Transgender Day of
with the Papa
Visibility,
Smurf
a
stuff.
time to uplift the strength, courage, and truth of transgender and non-binary people while recognizing the work that still lies ahead and the fight for equality, dignity, and safety. Today is a powerful march from City Hall. You've arrived at a space grounded in purpose, a space for community, organizing, and resistance. Your presence here is not just symbolic. It's not just symbolic, y'all. It really is not. It is part of a growing movement demanding justice, visibility, and protection for trans lives. This day of action was organized by our community partners at Riverside Pride, and we're proud to have collaborated with them to welcome you here to the IE Center, a space and place to regroup, build connections, and strengthen our shared commitment to liberation. It is all about liberation, y'all. You are seen, you are valued, and you are essential to this movement. Don't let anybody tell you different, people. Don't let anybody tell you different. Let us continue showing up, speaking out, and building a region, the Inland Empire, a region where all trans people can not only live, but live safely with power and pride, not just today, but every day, every single day. And I just want to put that out there for y'all. This is a space, this is a place. Thank you so much, Riverside Pride, for putting this all together. And now, come on up, take the mic, Brock.
All right, so I just want to thank you all for showing up, for standing up, and for speaking out today. Today, on Trans Day of Visibility, we gather to not just celebrate who we are, but to confront the forces that seek to erase our community. Visibility is power. Visibility is resistance, and in times like these, visibility is an act of defiance against those who would rather see our community disappear. Over the past several years, we've seen a relentless attack on the transgender community, efforts to strip away trans rights, erase trans identities, and silence our voices. The Trump administration has targeted transgender people at every level, from banning trans service in the military to stripping away healthcare protections, from trying to redefine gender out of existence to allowing discrimination in schools, workplaces, and shelters. And even here locally in Riverside, our own assembly members have authored hateful bills. Bills that will, we can boo them, it's okay. Bills that would ban trans youth from participating in sports and using the restroom that aligns with their gender identity. These bills will be debated tomorrow up in Sacramento in committee. But we hope that these do not make it out of committee and that California continues to stay a refuge for our trans community. Let me be clear. Trans folks are still here and are still fighting. This is not a new fight for the LGBT community. To the politicians who've tried to erase us, you failed. To the institutions who've tried to exclude LGBT folks, we built our own spaces just like this. To those who sought to silence us, we are louder than ever and will do everything in our power to protect our trans siblings. We stand here today not just in defiance, but in celebration. Because no matter how hard they try, no law, no policy, no hateful rhetoric can erase the truth. And that truth is that trans people exist, trans people matter, and trans people belong. Visibility, though, is not enough. We must turn visibility into action. We must organize, vote, advocate, and support one another. We must demand better from our leaders and hold them accountable. And most of all, we must continue to create a world where every trans person, every trans child can live openly, safely, and proudly. Riverside Pride is committed to partnering with many of the organizations you'll hear from today to ensure that the IE fights back against hate and stands strong behind the marginalized communities most at risk during this administration. Through both advocacy work, providing safe and joyful space for queer and trans folks to gather and learn about resources, our organization is dedicated to doing our part in making the region inclusive and combating hate. We encourage you to connect with folks from True Evolution, Rainbow Pride Youth Alliance, Riverside Pride, and Trans Health and Wellness Center to find out about how you can get involved. And you'll hear from each of these organizations in just a second. To our cisgender community here today, now more than ever, our trans siblings need our unwavering support. It's deeply disheartening to see members of our own community turning their backs on trans folks, especially after everything they've done for LGBT rights. From the Stonewall riots in 1969 to the ongoing fight for equality, transgender activists have been at the forefront of progress. Abandoning them now, simply because some of us have achieved certain rights, is not only shameful, it's a betrayal of the very principles that brought us this far. For many trans individuals, attending city council or school board meetings to speak out can not only be uncomfortable, but just downright dangerous. So it's our responsibility to amplify their voices, stand by their side, and hold all elected folks, regardless of party, accountable for any actions or votes that harm trans rights. So let's show up and make it clear that we won't leave anyone behind. And to my trans siblings here today, you are loved, you are valued, you are unstoppable, and together we are a force that no administration, no politician, and no bigot can break. So happy Trans Day of Visibility, keep shining, keep fighting, and never let them erase you.
Yes, Eric.
So I mentioned that we got a number of wonderful speakers to be able to share their experiences, their journey, and share why it's so important that this day matters and that we continue to fight for these folks. So I'm excited to bring out my colleague from the Riverside Pride Board, our youth director, Mackensie.
Good evening, everybody. I'm going to start off with a small favor. I have very sensitive ears, and those whistles are echoing up here, and it's physically painful. Can we reduce them just a little bit? Thank you. Um, so you notice I didn't put anything on this podium. I was going to go off script anyway, so I have one. For those, I have been active in trans advocacy for a few years now, and I've taken this step up into more activist levels where I'm getting involved in political situations and such. But you know what? It's not been easy. I lost my job because of the speech I gave at last year's Trans Day of Visibility. We have a long way to go before stuff like that stops happening. But everybody here, we were just talking about, Brock was just talking about how we need to stand together, be loud.
With you right
But think
now.
about how many of your trans siblings aren't at this rally tonight. Because some of us are terrified to be at these things. And that is kind of the point of what's going on in this world right now. It is to terrify us. And we should be allowed to be scared. We should be allowed to be angry. We should be allowed to be sad. And all of these things are legitimate. You are out here. You have the strength to overcome that fear and that terror. So when you leave this place, make sure you check in on all of your sisters, your brothers, your siblings that couldn't get out here tonight, that didn't want to take that chance, because their lives are just as valid and they need to hear your voice just as much as we're hearing you tonight. Not everybody has the responsibility to come out and do this. You guys stepped up, and that is amazing. Let's remember those that don't have that luxury, that don't have that strength. And remember, there are many people who just showing up to an event like this will cost them their job, which can cost them their place to live. So let's embrace the community. Let's extend more than just these rallies. We can't let our energy die at these rallies. It's kind of what I'm getting to. Once we're done here, we go out into the world. All of the problems that we just talked about, they don't change. They don't go away. But what does change is when you go talk to your friends, when you go talk to your siblings, and when you form small communities, get a game group together, get a weekly movie night, get a book club, get anything together. Because those little things will make a bigger difference than all of this right here. Not the saying that this doesn't make a difference. But this is just a rally. Rally means come together. What we do when we leave here is we continue the fight. This is getting us together, to getting us energized, ready to go. But then we walk out those gates and we keep fighting. We don't stop. We form our small groups. We find our friends. And we strengthen our community. We find the allies that don't even know they're allies yet. I do a lot of talks. I do a lot of things. I just came back from a recent event as well. And one of the things I always kind of try to tell people is that being around somebody brings acceptance. And from acceptance comes affirmation. Sometimes people aren't there yet, but if you find someone who can get there, help them get there. You're the strong ones. You're the ones that came out. It's on us to educate, but it's also not our responsibility to educate. Allies, there's so many allies here. It is your responsibility to educate. It is your responsibility to talk to your peers and go, hey, there's nothing wrong with trans people. All of that bullshit is lies.
Yep.
Because they're going to listen to you before they listen to me. They just fire me. So we need to fight, but we need to find our joy. We need to have our groups. We need to have our communities. We need to have each other's backs. The fight is tiring. The fight is exhausting. And if you don't have your groups, you don't have your people, you will burn out. So make sure you find your friends, you find your people, and you support your community. Very brief, we can get the whistles, just very briefly. Thank you all for showing up, and please, please keep fighting once we leave this place.
Let's give it up one more time for Mackensie. All right, so our next speaker is Skylar Kardon, Outreach Manager at the Transgender Health and Wellness Center of Southern California. Skylar is a trans masculine activist and advocate for the LGBT community, came out at 15, has been publicly and proudly trans for the past 14 years. Let's give it up for Skylar.
Hi, everybody. Before I get started, I'd like to send my heart out across the globe. Minalnar Ilalbar, Philistine Saltata Harar. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. I'm Skylar Kardon. I use he, him, and they, them pronouns, and I'm the outreach manager at the Transgender Health and Wellness Center of Southern California. I came out when I was 15 years old, and in the 14 years since then, I have seen the landscape around people like myself change and warp in dramatic ways, some positive and some negative. Life has unfortunately never been easy for people like us. We had a brief surge of awareness and acceptance in the early 2010s, brought crashing down by a new wave of reactionary conservatism that has thrust an intensely vulnerable minority population into the political spotlight. Things feel new and terrifying right now, and while in many ways they are, it's important to remember that we've seen this before. In the 2000s, when the Tea Party and the Westboro Baptist Church rallied desperately against gay marriage. In the 80s, with the AIDS epidemic, the purposeful mishandling of the AIDS epidemic, and public high-profile bigots such as Anita Bryant highlighting the severe cultural hatred towards the gay population. Every time we make cultural ground for the cause of liberty and equality, there is a pendulum swing back towards fear, control, and hate. It will not last. The fatal flaw of conservatism is not only that it clings to a past that never truly existed, but the notion that things should remain unchanged.
You're a beautiful
That time
human
should
being,
take
Eric.
place, that we should stay trapped in the genders and roles assigned to us at birth. That we should remain locked in stagnation and rot that only benefits the most privileged among us until we die. This is, simply put, not possible. The only constant in this world is change, and change will come gloriously as we bring it. I have seen laws change for the better, for the worse, and for the better again. I have seen change in the hearts and minds of the people around me, in my family, in coworkers, in classmates, in random strangers who, to their knowledge, had never met a trans person before. When I was first starting hormone therapy 10 years ago, I needed letters from 3 therapists to prove that I was who I said I was and that I should have autonomy over my own body. Now, starting with a new doctor, I am able to begin same day. Unfortunately, many in this community are not currently afforded those same privileges due to oppressive laws, locations, means, and all of the other many factors that keep us bound in suffering. It is our responsibility to fight not only for ourselves, but for the most vulnerable among us, so that someday everyone will have the freedom and ability to live as their authentic selves. Until then, I feel we will live in a time of dazzling highs and hard, cold lows. Last week, the County of Riverside formally withdrew the funding for my organization's domestic violence and sexual assault rapid rehabbing program.
Shame.
Immediately after which,
Shame.
yeah, boo. Immediately after which, we hosted Trans Pride 2025 in Palm Springs to record attendance of over 500 people. Transgender people are at a 4.5 times higher risk of experiencing domestic violence and sexual assault than our cisgender counterparts. I kept thinking about that number, 4.5, and my own experiences with such violence during what should have been an untarnished golden moment for my organization, myself, and my career. Those who have lived long enough, unfortunately, know that people like us have never been able to rely on the institutions of our deeply flawed political system. We are the ones who take care of us. Now is the time to be an active ally, to show up, to volunteer, to donate whatever you can spare, and to commit to the safety and well-being of your community. A healthy community is the enemy of hatred and division. Only united in love and in our responsibility to one another will we safely weather this storm. Thank you.
Give it up again for Skylar. All right, so our next speaker really means so much to our community as we've continued to see both, especially locally here in the IE, the attacks against trans youth specifically are at the forefront. From the Riverside Unified School District to the Redlands School District, there have been countless policies and school board meetings that has brought out hundreds of folks to speak out and for our trans students. And so locally, the youth is where we're really seeing that fight. And so we're excited to have someone from the youth here today to be able to speak. So our next speaker is a 19-year-old trans and queer representative of Rainbow Pride Youth Alliance. He's been yeah, you can give Rainbow Pride Youth Alliance Zeno.
I need it, Eric.
You can give Zeno a clap. Has been working with Rainbow Pride Youth Alliance since August of 2023 and has participated in workshops, conferences, and suicide advocacy, and is here to speak on behalf of Rainbow Pride Youth Alliance and all the amazing work that they're doing to really fight for our youth here in the IE. So please welcome to the stage, Zeno.
Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing today?
Yay!
Good. Yes, my name is Zeno Corfy, and I do indeed work with RPYA. And my pronouns are he, it, and I am 19 years old. I know. Some of you in the audience just went, wow, you're so old. And then the rest of you went, man, I'm so old. But you know what? It's okay, because no matter how old you are, whether you're young or old or an elder or a kid, you showed up today. And that is so important. Let me see here. You are actively taking space right now and representing and encouraging those of the trans community. And we are nothing without this community. So I'd like to take a moment to thank everyone who's come here tonight. Please give yourselves a round of applause. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much.
Awesome!
Thank you. And today we represent many people. Today we represent our queer elders and ancestors who have come before us. Today we represent people like Martha P. Johnson and others who have fought for our rights and freedom. Today we represent the adults and young kids and teenagers who have taken their lives. Today we represent those who were killed just for being who they are.
Zeno.
Today, we represent everyone who couldn't be here or are home or at other events in the name of trans visibility. Today, we represent all those
But
who
yeah, I
marginalized
thought that too
groups
at first.
that have been stolen from, prosecuted, murdered, and enslaved simply for existing. For when you go home in your car, know that you have marched today for a purpose. And you are here for a purpose. And you've taken on things not as a burden, but as a call to action. For everyone who just heard that and thought, what can one person possibly do? Know that any person can inspire, any person can fight for what they believe in, and any person can stand up for other people, not just themselves, in the name of trans visibility and in the name of everyone else. For they can try to take our rights away, but they cannot stop us from rallying to get them back. So please, don't give up on yourselves before you've given yourself a chance. Stand tall and know that what you're doing today has meaning, and that what you'll do tomorrow has meaning. And that is, and every day especially has meaning. If you're not part of this community, if you're not part of this community and you are of the cisgender and straight community, thank you so much for being here. Every ally is so important to us. So, and if you are part of this community, know that every day of you just existing is paving the path for the next generation of trans youth to come. Thank you.
Let's give it up again for Zeno. Thank you for all of the work you're doing right now. As I mentioned, our trans youth are experiencing so much in our school district, and the work that Rainbow Pride Youth Alliance does is so vital to our Inland Empire. So definitely, we've got a number of staff from there here. If you want to get involved, please connect with them. Our last speaker for the evening, I'm really excited to introduce. So we're here in the IE LGBT Center. Even though this space has been here for about a year now, the whole Project Legacy campus, the organization True Evolution, is such a pivotal, vital organization that has helped queer and trans folks in the Inland Empire for years. And so our next speaker is the Director of Development and External Relations from True Evolution, Ariel Savage. Let's give it up for Ariel. Ariel is also a member of the California LGBTQ Unity Council, is a Stanford University graduate with expertise in public policy and government affairs, and as a trans woman born and raised in Riverside, has a deep passion for the IE with goals of illuminating and advancing the too often looked needs of LGBT people in Riverside and San Bernardino County. I'm so excited to introduce my close friend, Ariel. Sorry.
All right, thank you all. I want to express my gratitude to Riverside Pride for organizing this march and rally for Trans Day of Visibility. Thank you, Zeno, for your powerful words. My name is Ariel Savage, and I serve as the Director of Development and External Affairs at True Evolution, home to the Inland Empire LGBTQ Plus Center and Project Legacy, our 1-acre housing campus you are all currently gathered on. Before I proceed with my speech, there's an icon whose name I must lift in this space, Miss Charles. Miss Charles, born in North Carolina, lived a full, beautiful life, and we are heartbroken as she passed away last week. We at True Evolution were so lucky to have her live here on this campus in that yellow house as one of our very first Project Legacy clients. Miss Charles represented the beauty of our community, the necessity for whole person housing and care, and she taught us the power and possibility of what can be achieved through community. Today, on Trans Day of Visibility, we honor Miss Charles, and we will continue to honor her every day as we fight for the generations of trans people to come. I ask for a brief moment of silence for Miss Charles. Thank you. So we gather here today to rally for Trans Day of Visibility.
Miss Charles. I didn't know
As
she
a
passed.
community, we are fiercely fighting for safety and freedom amidst a time when our livelihoods are being treated like a political playground. So we need you now more than ever. I stand here today as a proud transgender woman of color, born and raised in Riverside, California. Like many of my trans siblings in the IE, I often felt like the only way I could live truthfully was through moving to cities like LA or New York. This shouldn't be the case. In our region, trans people experience a disproportionate amount of hate and violence. But we are no strangers to this. And we are creating a community of love and acceptance right here in Riverside. Although people will try to convince you otherwise, here in the IE, we have a strong, vibrant community fighting for truth, love, and progress. We are faced with a pivotal moment in our history. Solidarity among the trans community and our allies is more important than ever. We are seeing a rise in anti-trans sentiment and attacks targeting the most vulnerable among us, particularly transgender youth and my trans sisters. I think of the trans girl in high school who just wants to play sports alongside her friends, yet she is being singled out and ostracized by grown adults. I think of the trans boy who is afraid of being outed by his teacher to his parents. I think of our trans and non-binary youth who are currently losing access to their life-saving, gender-affirming healthcare. And we must be clear. Attacks will not just stop at our youth. Anti-trans politicians have already begun to target trans people of all ages. And we have a responsibility to protect each other. Many people will try to divide us and pit our communities against each other. We have seen people claim that the dignity and acceptance of trans people is at odds with women's rights. People will convince you that the LGBT community is better off without the T. This is not the truth. Our liberations have always been and will forever be linked. Access to abortion, immigrant justice, women's rights, racial justice, and transgender liberation are forever connected. Even if we all do not always agree with each other, or even if we don't perfectly align in our methods of resistance, we must remain rooted in our collective vision and liberation because we are stronger together. To my trans siblings, I know many of you are scared, and I understand. We have faced insurmountable odds to step into our truths in a world denying our very rights to existence. But I promise you, we will get through this together. Our ancestors have charted this path. Miss Major, Marsha P. Johnson, Sylvia Rivera, Cecilia Gentili, Miss Charles. They remind us that we have always been here and we have persevered. So today, on Trans Day of Visibility, we must all remember that while visibility is needed, visibility means nothing without protection and action. So I implore you to ask yourself, what action will I take to protect trans lives? And what do I say to that? Raise your voice. Yeah, raise your voice. Do not let people use our home, the Inland Empire, as the launching pad for transphobia across the state. And do not concede and comply with silence, because that is their goal. So I thank you all for joining us today. And I want to end with a reminder. No matter who is in office, no matter which direction the pendulum swings, we, the people, will fight for progress, equality, and trans lives. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Give it up again for Ariel, everyone. Another huge, huge thank you to all of our speakers tonight for coming up on this stage, sharing your journey, sharing your experience. As we've heard, it's scary right now, and to have the courage to come up here and share, we truly are just so honored to be able to hear your experiences, your stories, and so I just want to thank you. Let's give it up one more time for all of our speakers tonight. I just want to close out by, as you've heard tonight, reminding folks that there are ways to make your voices heard. You've heard from 4 LGBT organizations across the IE that are doing this work, doing the advocacy work, organizing, showing up at city council meetings, school board meetings, calling our legislators. And you all can get involved if that's the way that you want to get involved with advocacy. We recognize for some folks, Netflix is all they can do right now, and we understand that. But if you do want to get more involved, there are ways to do that. So Riverside Pride volunteers will have QR codes across if you want to learn more about our Pride Advocacy Network, as well as the 3 other organizations all have their own programming that they do. And I encourage you all to speak to some of the speakers that you heard tonight, learn about ways you can get involved, connect with each other, be able to meet an ally or a trans sibling tonight and kind of build that community. That's why we're here, is to build this community. We're in this together. When you do head back to City Hall, if you're part of that way, please leave in groups. I know the sun is starting to set. We will have volunteers that can help walk you over that way if you need. But I just want to make sure that safety is key for everyone. So please make sure that you find a friend, you find a buddy, if you are heading back to a vehicle that's maybe a few blocks over. But I just want to say thank you again for showing up. We do this every year, but this year it means so much more. And we're just really grateful to have such an amazing turnout, to have such a vibrant and robust trans community here in Riverside and the Inland Empire. And just want to say thank you again to everyone, and happy Trans Day Visibility.
Talk to my peeps here. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this. I'll probably come on later and I'll talk a little bit about why this is so important to me. I know. But again, I wanted just to say that was a bit of a shock when she said that. I'm going to flip my camera. There I am. It was just a shock to me when she said that Miss Charles had passed because I knew her. And also really thought she was a beautiful. Yeah, let me just wrap up right here. Okay, sorry. That's okay. And my car is, I want to say it's maybe 2.5 blocks. It's not that far. And I'll walk in a group. There's other people parked where I park over my city. So, and I'm safe here. But yeah, I think later when I get home, I'll do another short live where I'll communicate why this is so important to me. I have, thank you for coming, Cricket Cinema. Yeah, I had a friend who passed away last year, and she was mid-transition, and I miss her terribly. And I have other friends as well that are transgender, and I care about them all. And well, I'll go more in depth about my feelings later. But thank you guys so much. Hey, Club Brain Fog, I'm so glad you're here. I don't know if you were here earlier. It's kind of hard for me to see the chat on my phone, especially since I, for some reason, decided to use restraint. But thank you so much for being here, and thank you for the condolences. So yeah, maybe probably in about 2 hours when I'm home, I'll go live again, and I'll try to send out some sort of warning first. But everybody, thank you so much for being here, and for those of you that were here the whole time or stuck it out to the end, I really appreciate you. If you're not subscribed, be sure to subscribe and hit the like button. And I will see you guys again soon. Bye.